Hi everybody, how's your Sunday going? I hope it's going well. It is time to make some Thanksgiving sides. We are 4 days away. Have you been to the grocery store? I was over there today and it is very busy. So I want to make a couple of Thanksgiving sides for you guys. I know we did it last week. We made some collard green, sweet potato casserole, and so we got that done. And I see, okay, hopefully we can keep this connection. For some reason it keeps stopping on me, so hopefully we'll keep it. So it's good to see everybody on this Sunday. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to make stuffing, and we're going to make a wild rice. I've been talking about this and I've been wanting to make it for you guys, so I think you're going to like it, okay? So let's get started. The stuffing is very easy. This started with a guy at work. His name was Carter, and he always made this stuffing. Every year he would bring it in for our Thanksgiving party, and it was delicious. I always liked it. It was very sweet, and he would never tell me how he made it, okay? So even when he quit, and I said, would you please give me that recipe? No, he wouldn't do it. So Carter, I figured it out, I think, okay? And it's very easy to do. I mean, you're going to be just surprised at how simple it is. By the way, as we get started, tell me if you guys like this kind of stuff. Share it for me or give me a like, that kind of thing. And that way it helps me know if you guys like this sort of stuff to see it, okay? So let's get started. What you do, I'm going to back up just a little bit. I'm working on my lighting here. So this is so easy, okay? Jiffy Mix. It's like 30, 40 cents at grocery store, okay? This is very inexpensive. You need a box of this. You need 2 eggs, 2 cups of chicken stock, okay? A small onion, 2 tablespoons of butter, about a 1/4 tablespoon of salt and pepper, 2 tablespoons of sage, and this is just the sage that's in your counter or in your cabinet. Not a big deal, it doesn't have to be fresh. And a 1/2 cup of celery, which is about 2 sticks, okay? So the first thing let's get our butter going in the skillet over here so we can make that. We're going to make the stuffing first, then we're going to make wild rice, which I think you're really going to like. Stuffing, I feel like it's meatloaf. Everyone seems to think that their brand is the best or the one that they make is the best. So if you want something that's simple and easy, this is a way to go. So what you do, let me move this over just a little bit so you guys can see. We just need a 1/2 cup of celery, which is about 2 sticks, okay? And you want to slice this really thin. Like for me, when I'm cutting things, slicing it and dicing it really finely is sort of the thing that I like to do. And one, it cooks fast, and 2, I just like the texture of it. And if you have small children, probably celery is not their favorite thing unless there's peanut butter on it and raisins. So if you slice it and dice it really small, perhaps they won't know that it's in that stuffing, you know what I mean? So that's one way to do it. That's how I like to do it. I think that this recipe is really very close. I scoured around on the internet and I found this similar one to what I think Carter makes in All Recipes. You know that brand, allrecipes.com is where I saw it, and I thought, I think this is it. I think I can do this. I'm going to show you guys how I'm slicing this up because I want you to see sort of where I'm going with this. I hope your Sunday's going well. Hasn't it been a great weekend? Yesterday it was super windy. I made a little journey over to Shawnee yesterday, and we went to an Indian restaurant called Tandoori, which is in a gas station. Pretty funny. In a gas station. Really good, though. We went over there. Oh, man, I got that hot. Woo! So let me show you this. So you see how fine that is? That's really where we want to go with that, okay? So I'm going to cool that down. Oh, I got that hot. And, of course, I'm splattering it everywhere. Do you guys do that? I'm the worst. I'm the worst when it comes to that, splattering and making a mess. I'm not the neatest cook in the world, but I don't mind cleaning up. It's okay. So I got a small onion. Goes in this. We're going to put them both on the skillet here. And what I like to do with this onion is I like to take it and grate it where it's super fine. You can cut it if you want, but I like to grate it up And watch your fingers on these old graters. Oh, I always am just afraid I'm going to hit my finger on it, but I'm careful, right? Are you guys going anywhere for Thanksgiving? What I'm going to do is, sometimes I try to answer your questions as I go. I'm going to go through this. And at the end, if you have any questions, ask me, and we'll go from there. Let me turn this down just a little bit more. There we go. I can smell it cooking away. So I'm just grating this onion up, and it's just a small onion. Just kind of grating it up here at the end. And put that shell right there. It doesn't have to be a lot, okay? I'm going to run my knife through it one more time. Just anything that was too big. Okay, so we've got onion and celery. And I've diced it up really fine. There's a little shell. Okay, so let's do this. I'm about to cry on you with, with the onion. It gets me every time. And this, I'm going to use my brand new, I don't know if you guys can see this. This week we had our chili cook-off at work and dessert competition, and I won 3rd place. So I got this little spatula for it. So thank you, work. I appreciate it. So this is all there is to this, getting this stuffing started. You want to cook these just a little bit, your onions and your celery. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 tablespoons of sage or teaspoons of sage in there. And this is the 1/4 of salt and pepper. Go ahead and put those in and get those stirred around. I've gone ahead and made cornbread, the cornbread Jiffy Mix. So you guys don't have to wait around on that. Just follow the box. That's all you have to do on that, okay? So I, of course, like to make it in a cast iron skillet because that's the best way to make cornbread, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. If you're not using your cast iron skillet, shame on you. If you don't have one, go get one. They're like 15 bucks, okay? Season it and use it. You don't even have to wash it most of the time. You just rinse it out. Okay, so I've already made this and let it cool. And so all you have to do is kind of grind it up with your clean hands like that, right? Very easy to do. Very simple. This is going to make about maybe 6 servings. So the bigger your crowd, the more you want to do that. Okay, you want to maybe do 2 of them. So 2 eggs. Got to make sure you guys can see me here. 2 eggs. 1, 2. So everybody traveling for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to do some traveling. I'm going to go see my family we're going to Indiana. I'm going to add a little bit of the stock right there. And then I just like to beat the egg a little bit here so we get going. Okay. And we'll put the egg. This all goes in the same pot, and then you just, as soon as your onions and your celery is mixed in and kind of translucent, is when you're ready to go, okay? I've sort of been cooking all day. I've got a mess on my stove, so I've been doing it all day long. So here we go. I'm just going to see if you guys are looking good. Okay. You guys are doing some traveling. The holidays it's going to be busy, but we did a story about cheap flights, and my flight there was like $400, and that's about the best I've ever been able to get that flight. So that's a really good deal if you're traveling. So I don't know if you guys had cheap flights this year or not. But one of the reasons I was talking about going over to the restaurant, I went over there to that tandoori restaurant and went there, and then went to I think it's called the McAbey Museum over at St. Gregory. We've had St. Gregory in the news. That school, university, is going to close. And so I thought, well, I want to go over there and look around. It's a real old university. It's a beautiful place. It was a beautiful day yesterday, so just to go over there and kind of check it out and see what was going on. And it's pretty quiet. It's pretty small, but it was kind of fun to go over there and walk around. I've wanted to go over there ever since they had an earthquake that hit, and I think that was the Prague earthquake, but it shook the turrets there at St. Gregory's. And I wanted to go over there for years, so I finally went. Okay, so this is just about ready. What I'm going to do is go ahead. These are 2 eggs that I beat. I'm going to put them in the cornbread. Add the stock. Just a little bit right now. With this is cooked down pretty good here. You just want to get this translucent so it's going. You're going to put it in the oven for another 30 minutes. We're going to use this same pan, so I'm going to just wipe it out as best I can here. Give it a little wipe, because we're coming back to this pan and using it here in a minute. Let me keep it off the fire, because we're going to start our rice with that. As I made a mess of this towel, I will fold it around. All right, so this is our mixture, okay? It's your cornbread, your onion, your sage, butter in there. It's 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to mix it around just a little bit. Add a little bit more of this stock. Stir it in, okay? Very easy to do. This is a sweet cornbread, okay? And yeah, it's out of a box. Hooray. Do something out of a box sometimes. I think that's kind of the key to, if you're trying to put together a Thanksgiving dinner, you don't have to make every single thing from scratch. Most people aren't going to know. So as long as you took some time to do it, they will get it, okay? So here we go. I'm going to put it in my dish like this, okay? And I think it's like an 8 by 13 dish is a good one to do. This one is decent. It makes a real thick cornbread stuffing. So it's very moist. 350, 30 minutes in the oven, okay? So let's go in here. And this one, I've got one in the oven here. So, which is great. And I think this is probably going to be more along the lines of the pan that you might have, so I made it in this one, okay? I want to burn myself here. So, okay, so here we go. There's one that's ready to go, okay? So you can see that would serve the family, maybe 4, 5 people. If you guys are having a small Thanksgiving, if you're having a bigger Thanksgiving, make 2. That's all you got to do. Okay, so we got to try it at least, right? It cooks about 30 minutes. So I'm going to let that cool down just a second, because that's super hot, right? While that's cooling down, I'm going to get our next dish out, okay? Our next dish, let me set this here, I think. Right there. Our next dish is wild rice. It's pretty easy. It takes a little bit more time, okay? So here's what you need. Let me bring everything over. Look at that, I didn't spill it. I did not spill it. That's important. All right. So wild rice, I think you're going to love it. Red onion. 3 tablespoons of teriyaki. Clove of garlic. This is a half cup of celery. And it's chopped exactly the same, okay? That's what I do. I like to chop it that way. 2 tablespoons of butter, which I'm going to go ahead and get over here and get going. Let's get it on the fire. So there goes our butter. We need 1 cup of wild rice, okay? I've gone ahead and cooked it. It's 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of chicken stock. I cook it in a rice cooker. Do you guys have a rice cooker? They're awesome because you don't have to keep up with it. You just turn it on and it will cook. Go get one. They're $10. This recipe comes from this company, okay? It's called Lundberg, okay? Lundberg. And they have a new package. It didn't used to look like this, but it's called Lundberg. And this is their recipe, and I don't think it gets any better, okay? It's really good stuff. So, you need a cup of mushrooms. And here's where I go a little different on the recipe. The recipe calls for sliced mushrooms. I like them diced just like I like to cut there. So, and I'll just show you. I've mostly done them. So just take them. And to me, the temptation is to go ahead and buy the pre-sliced mushrooms, which I did the other day on Friday. I got them home and opened them up, and they were slimy and gross, and I don't know. Maybe they were old. I don't know, but I couldn't do it. So kind of makes you mad. I spent what, $3 on them, and they were just. I thought I can't eat this. So I went and got whole mushrooms, and I'm just going to cut them. Okay. So again, you want to slice these about like that, pretty small. Okay. Where do you buy the wild rice? I saw that question. So you can buy that. I bought that at Buy for Less, the one on Northwest Expressway. You can buy it at Homeland. You can buy it probably at Crest. Just about any place is going to have that, okay? So let me cool that down just a little bit. Get our onion chopped up and our garlic, and then we'll get that going. I'm going to go ahead and start the celery while we're here, because it'll take just a second to get cooked down. All right, and a red onion in this. I love this dish. This is a great Thanksgiving dish, and it's a little bit different than what you're used to. So I think it's a nice, something different if you get tired of the same old things year after year. It's something just a little bit different that you might like, and that's why I like it. This goes well with beef as well. My mother taught me how to make this, and she makes it with London broil. Do you guys like London broil? I could make you a London broil that you'd love it. The thing is that it's served pretty rare, and I'm never sure if people want to see rare things. Speaking of what you want to see, again, I'm going to say it again. If you like this, give it some likes. It helps me know if if we want to do this or not, and what you like. If you like the Thanksgiving stuff, what I'm going to do is when it comes next. So after Thanksgiving, we're going to go into the Christmas holidays. I've got some ideas for that, okay? Share this if you like, too. I'd love it. So save, okay, let's talk turkey for just a minute. Save your turkey. Save your turkey. If you have that leftover turkey, you know how you pull it apart and there's all this meat and you think, what am I going to do with that? And you throw it away or whatever. If you have a smoked turkey, you're going to be in heaven. You're going to love this. But we're going to make a stew or a soup after Christmas. After Thanksgiving. Okay? I'm going to try to do it. I need to look at my plane ticket because I'm back. I'm not sure if I'm back next Sunday to do this or not. But I think I might be. I'll double check for you guys. Okay, here's my onion again. I've diced it up just like I've diced up the celery. Okay? Get it in my pan here. This is really easy. It comes together very easily. Okay? You need about a cup of these mushrooms. I think that's a little bit more than a cup. Turn up the heat just a little bit. Really get that going. And in fact, I'm going to put a little bit more butter in there because some of this is what you like. Okay? Why not? So maybe a couple tablespoons, maybe another tablespoon and a half of butter. I think that would be pretty good in there. All right, so we're going to make this wild rice soup with turkey. And you're going to like it better than Thanksgiving, I promise. Okay, you're going to want Thanksgiving just for this. Okay, here's our stuffing, right? It's so good. It's sweet. There's sweet. There's onion in it. There's celery in it. It really has great flavor. It's so easy to make. Carter, my old buddy who would never give me the recipe, I got it figured out. That's it. That is it. That's how you do it. Okay, so let me clean up over here. You know what? I about forgot my garlic. I better get this chopped up and get it in there. If you guys see me forget something, start writing it. Start getting my attention and putting it in here, because every once in a while I get to talking and I forget something to put it in, and that is frustrating. So I'll get my garlic in here real quick. Get that heat turned up. What have you guys done this weekend? So I told you what I did. I went down to Shawnee and checked out St. Gregory's, just because I've always wanted to go there. And I checked out the museum that's there. It's $5 to get in. They have a mummy in there, actually a couple, I think. They have, and you know, it's a very small museum. But what's nice about that is you actually learn some things, because you've driven down there. It's nearly an hour to Shawnee from my house, And you drive down there and you think, okay, we'll learn something. Let's do a little salt and a little pepper in this, don't you think? So I just use my table salt shaker, okay? That's how I'm best with that. Kosher salt gives me a little bit of trouble. I can't quite figure out the ratio of it. So I like to use the salt shaker because I know how much is going on there. Okay, so we're getting close here to having, as soon as those are done, we'll put all of that together, and then we'll be really 2 more sides for our Thanksgiving feast. I'm going to clean up here just a little bit if I don't make a total mess. There we go. Like I said, I'm messy anyway. Get this stirred up. I need to check my dinner, which I've been making this afternoon. I'm going to freeze this stuff. Most of this stuff freezes pretty well, and so I'll freeze it and eat it later. I don't want to eat it now because I'm going to have it for Thanksgiving too when I go to Indiana. So I don't mind to freeze it and eat it later. I love leftovers and freezing things. So tonight I'm making a New York Times dish that they sent me in an email this week, and which is called herbed white bean sausage stew. And it's got lots of herbs in it. And I've got a friend, she's coming over. We're going to have this. She's making popovers. She brought me some popover mix, which are like these little rolls, and they come out of the pan like this and they pop out. And you take butter and honey, and you make a honey butter together, and it's a great dish. Oh, it's so good. So we're going to do that tonight. I've never made this dish from the New York Times, but some of their recipes are really good. You can get on an email with them and do it. So back to our rice, our wild rice. It's looking good. Okay. As soon as this gets a little more translucent, we're going to be good to go. Okay. I'm just looking around for my bowl that I'm going to put this in. I'm not going to put that in a bowl because I'm going to just put it in the skillet. I forgot about that. Now it's a good time to add your teriyaki. Okay, it's 3 tablespoons of teriyaki. And we'll just put it all in here together and mix it in. Okay? Like this. And this is where this really starts to smell good. Okay? You put that teriyaki in there and it just smells so delicious. And you just let this cook on the stove a little bit. And then just another minute, and then we're going to add the rice, and then we'll give it a taste. You can turn the heat down on it and let it cook and let it kind of all soak in. You can add a little bit more butter and a little bit more teriyaki. We're doing this kind of fast. How long have we been on? I can usually tell how long we've been on here. 23 minutes. I try to wrap this up in 20, so give me 2 more minutes, and we'll wrap it up, okay? You get the idea of how to do this. So I know it's Thanksgiving. I'm going to go ahead and put this rice in. Once again, this rice has already been cooked, okay? I cooked it about an hour ago, so it would be ready to go for you guys, so we could just kind of be ready to eat it. So you just mix it in like this. You can cook this low and slow once you get it in here for a few minutes, and you're going to love it. It's so good. So delicious. It looks good. I know if you're like me, I want to try it before I make it, especially for company. I never make new recipes for company. This is a winner. This is a winner. You don't have to make this one and try it yourself. I'm telling you, it's great. I think the stuffing is great. But it's super simple and it's very sweet. Okay, I think the sweet potato casserole that we did last week, if you guys want to see that, get into my Facebook page. If you're looking on the work Facebook, or if you're looking at KOCO's Facebook page, like the Paul Folger KOCO page, and just scroll down through there and you'll see it. I don't know, it's probably a good 10 videos down, or 10 posts, or maybe 15 posts down. But it's in there, and you can look at how to make collard greens and sweet potato casserole. I think I also posted the recipes. I know I did. I posted the recipes for those two on paulsplate.com, which is a blog that I have. And so you can just get the recipes there. I'll post the recipes for this stuff on there too. And that way you'll have that. Okay, so I think this is about ready. You're going to like this. You're really going to like this. Let me show it to you. It's beautiful. And it smells, gosh, it smells good. Give me a fork. You ready to see this? All right, there you go. There you go. So what are you saying there? Yes, I cooked the rice in a rice cooker. I'll go over that. Let me take a bite and then we'll go over how we did this. Oh, I'm about to blow it away. So good. That teriyaki taste is different and it's great. It's non-Thanksgiving-ish, and so it's a little bit different that you can really, really throw something totally different in, yet it's really good. Okay, so very quickly, I'll go this very quick. You need a cup of rice, 2 cups of stock. I cooked it ahead of time and I just dumped it in, okay? I cooked it in a rice cooker if you joined us late. It's got a half cup of celery, small dices, a cup of mushroom, diced up again, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of teriyaki, 1 clove of garlic. And you just put it all together. After you get the butter and then your onion, I didn't say that, a small red onion. Once you get those 3 things, your onion, your celery, and your mushrooms kind of cooked a little bit, they're good to go. And then you just add the rice, the teriyaki, let it simmer, let it cook just a little bit, and you'll love it. Let me show you my stew, and then I'm going to come over and answer questions. This looks really good. This is dinner tonight. That looks really good. And if I like this and it's great, maybe one day we'll make it and if you guys like it. So that's a nice stew right there. It's just white beans and sausage and herbs, basically is all it is. Okay, let me look at your questions real quick. You can, yes, salt and pepper. I think you can certainly, yeah, there's salt and pepper in this wild rice dish as well. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and you can always add a little bit more at the end, okay? I try not to cook with too much salt, and then I find myself putting way too much salt and stuff, all the time. So, Clark, how am I not overweight? I don't eat very much of this. So I like to make it, I don't eat it. So I'm going to kind of scroll through. Nichelle, yes, it's quick, but it would take you a little, it takes you a little bit longer. So yes, Sue, I used a rice cooker for this. I cooked it before. It does smell delicious. I'm just looking here where you guys, if you have any other questions. Okay, so you're just kind of hanging out. There's no celery salt in this, Mike. Let's see. Just looking at. You'd like me to do one with my sister and my mother? They would not do it. So, sorry, they just won't. I tried to get my mother to help me make something last time I was at her house, and she was like, "No way." I don't know why, but anyway. Listen, I'll post what's in this over on Paul's Plate. Give it some likes if you like this. Let's talk about this since. If you have lost interest, you can go. If you want to hear about these things, I'll continue to talk for another second. We're going to make a turkey soup that if you are getting a smoked turkey, it's amazing. You can get those at gobblegobble.com. Greenberg's. I get them. They're great. Totally different than your typical turkey. They come cold and very weird, and they throw them on your front porch, and that's all they have to do. It's really weird, but I like them. My mom likes them less. She likes a bite of it, but this stew is great. This turkey soup is great. We're gonna make it with regular turkey, just to see how it tastes, and I think it'll be just fine. It's good either way. So after that, we're gonna go into Christmas mode a little bit. I don't know if I'll do this every week. Eventually, I'm going to try to do these maybe a couple times a month, not every single week. But since it's the holidays, I want to make some things that I think you guys might like. We're going to do some party type things. Okay, so if you're planning a party, we'll make some of that. One of the things I like to make, and this is over at Paul's Plate if you want to look through some of that stuff, is a sriracha sweet bacon. Okay, we take bacon, we paint it with sriracha, we paint it with brown sugar and it is fantastic. And you just serve it. You just serve it straight up you just put it in sticks, and people can walk by and grab it, and they like it. I'm trying to think. There's a restaurant in town. The first time I ever saw it was in Miami years ago, and then there's a restaurant that makes this in town. It might be Broadway and 10th. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't think they put sriracha on it, and I think you'll like the way this tastes. We're going to make a little cracker with brie and pomegranate on it, which is really good too. So we'll make some things like that that I like to make for brunches and party brunches and things like that, which is pretty good. So those are kind of some of the things that we'll do. Like I said, it helps me if you give me some likes. Let me know that you guys like to see this. And I just want to know what you guys are thinking and what you guys like and that sort of thing. So that is wild rice and stuffing. Set your table for Thanksgiving. Have a good time. If you got a big crowd, at least set a table and some of you eat there. Let the kids eat on the paper plates. You went to a lot of trouble. Don't serve your meal on paper plates. I know you got to clean up the dishes. It's once a year. Sit down. Say to your family what you're thankful for. And enjoy the people that love you the most. I mean, they just do. And so I want you just to sit with them and enjoy it. Let the kids go watch TV and, eat on the paper plates. For your big family, your immediate family, you guys set the table. My mom sets a beautiful table. She passed that down to her children. We set the table and we sit down and we have dinner. And it's important. And it's important to say what you're thankful for, because this is a great time of year to really spend that time. And bite your tongue if you get mad at each other, okay? Don't get mad at each other. Just let it go. So many families say, oh, we get in a fight. Don't get in a fight. Just enjoy the time, because your family is only with you so long, but they're with you forever in your mind. So, but if you can get with them and enjoy them, do it. All right? So have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy. We'll talk later.